It's very adorable back here with its sort of dual destinies where robot uprising and being given permission to examine the crime scene by the killer, and now we gotta talk to Athena, and this game is just the wildest game in the entire series, hands down, so far. Anyway, she was right by my side only a short few hours ago, but I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. Trucy or Athena are you talking about now? I mean, both. It could apply to both, I suppose. Oh, Mr. Wright. It is Athena. Hello.
And Pearly, too. I knew you would come. After all, the first step is the interview with the defendant.
And because you're my friend and I was worried about you.
Thanks, boss.
I'm not the only one who's worried either.
Really? Who else?
I saw Miss Woods today. She was so beside herself she came to find me. She told me you used to live in the Cosmos Space Center. No wonder you knew so much about the place.
Oh. So, you know, huh? I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
That's alright. But there are some other things I'd like to ask you.
Sure. You can ask me anything. I promise I won't keep any more secrets from you.
Hey, no problem. Don't worry about it, pal. I'm a lawyer.
I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to present evidence like that again. I'll probably never work as a lawyer again now.
Don't talk like that, Athena. We're going to clear you of all suspicion. Just you wait.
I hope you can. I really hope you can.
Oh, God, I hate seeing her like this.
Could it have been me who killed Clay? Did I kill Apollo's friend?
Of course you didn't. We all believe in you.
I hope that includes Apollo.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm a bit worried about him. I know he believes in you from how he was talking in the second case, but he's not himself right now. As Trucy says. You'll love this, Athena. We got like 6 more pages of evidence. What is interesting though is that we saw that she had the funky headphones as a kid, but I don't think they mentioned Widget. I mean, they mentioned that Widget was much alike to the robots here, and so we sort of suppose that perhaps Metis and Aura developed them to co-developed it, but Widget wasn't in any of the smaller Athena. Any of the flashbacks with Athena, I don't remember seeing her there anyway. It would sort of make sense that they developed it for her as a kid so that she can more easily express her emotions because she was, very quiet on account of all the sensory overload she always experienced. Let's chat, Paleo. The day of the crime. Which crime are we talking about now? Tell me about the day Clay was murdered.
I was actually at the Space Center that day. In the Space Museum.
Right where the culprit fled to? That's not good.
I never could fully deal with what happened 7 years ago. But when I saw the center again during the news coverage of the Hat 2 launch, I thought maybe if I went there, things would be different this time. That must have been taking a lot of courage to face your past like that.
Only to have it blow up in your face. God damn.
So I went to the Space Museum the evening before the explosions. This was before the launch pads had been switched. There was a sign that said closed for repairs, and they weren't letting anybody in.
The director couldn't very well switch the pads if there were people in there.
But I snuck in anyway.
Did you want to see that Hat 1 group photo? The one with your mother in it?
I did. But what I really wanted to see was her jacket.
That jacket on display. That was Dr. Cykes's. That's what we figured. A newspaper clipping a photo of the people involved with the launch and the jacket worn by Dr. Cykes, and we can prove it if we had one of the robots look at it. If it comes up.
But I should have known it wouldn't be easy to get over such a traumatic experience. The second I saw that jacket, it all came rushing back to me. Everything around me went hazy and I couldn't see. I tried to get out of there somehow. But I guess I passed out.
Damn, so you were unaware of what was going on as well at the time. I would never have guessed you were there.
When I came to, I was in the passage behind the rocket.
There's a who, the what?
I was in the shadows where people couldn't really see me.
Maybe you got confused and went the wrong way when you were trying to leave.
How long do you think you were unconscious, Athena? I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge too. My mind must have still been fuzzy because my memory's vague after that. I don't remember how I got home.
No memory, huh? This is gonna be tough.
Which means, what if I'm the one who killed Clay?
I think that's enough of that, Athena. Let's talk about something else. Is there any chance she was drugged as well, or was it maybe just sincerely the emotional response to it? I mean, that's understandable. So during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum. Yeah, I don't know why that feels like that shakes things up. She said when she came to, she was in the shadows, so I could believe that the killer fleeing in there wouldn't have noticed she was there, but if they did, it would have been all too easy to plant her fingerprints on the blood. But she said she was there before even the launch and the explosion. So is there any chance that when Clay and Starbuck went in there, they saw her? I suppose. Much to think about there. So during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum. Of course I believe her, but will anybody else? Your mother's work. What kind of research was your mother doing? Machines that could tell people's emotions by their tone of voice, and my special ability. Someday, when people travel to distant planets, their companions will be robots. So she said they had to be able to understand how their human companions felt. Wow, robots that can understand people! I was just a convenient subject for her research. All she ever did was work, and she never paid any attention to me. Sorry about that. Trudging up all that old stuff. No need to apologize. I guess her home life was complicated. Apollo did make it sound like she cared maybe about the robots as much as, in a comparable way to how she cared about Athena, and all that was also comparable to Aura. So her daughter wasn't especially as special to us compared to the other two, or according to Apollo anyway. Oh, by the way, Miss Wood said something about you always wearing headphones. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. I had to wear them every day I went out. Oh, I hated them so much, but she wouldn't listen. What were they for? She gave me some kind of explanation, but I don't remember now. It was too difficult for a little kid to understand. Okay, but let me say this one thing. I don't think your mother only thought of you as some handy subject for her research. I want to believe that. But just about the only things my mother left with me are Widget. And this earring. Oh, she's only got the one. Ooh, it's beautiful. It's made of a piece of real moon rock she had for research. I knew it! I don't understand the significance of that yet, but I knew it! Maybe she did love me in her own way. I'm sure of it. I'm really sure she did. I guess that's what I want to believe too. Moonrock earring added to the court record. An earring that Dr. Cykes gave to Athena. The stone was cut from a real moonrock that was being used for research. I better ask her a little more about her mother's research. I should show her that paper I found in the robotics lab. Yes! That was this one here. A doink! Oh, the Ponko series. You must have gone to the robotics lab. You seem to really love Ponko and Klonko. Yeah, my mother made them and I grew up around them, you know? They were almost like siblings in a way, which is sort of weird. Oh, there's one of those cute little robots in this photo, too. See Ponko's bandages? I put those on her. I just went them around and around. Pretty bad job, huh? But I really put my all into it. I hardly left the center in those days, so I didn't have any human friends besides Junie. I didn't really understand the difference between robots and people back then. I thought that if a robot broke, bandaging it would help it get better. What a weirdo I was. Looks like there's something written on the bandages. Yeah, I wrote stuff like, "Get well soon, Ponko." But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. Oh, that must be the thing I made move in the robotics lab. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. It looked just like magic to me what she could do. A little girl who grew up around robots. She seems to have some good memories of it. 7 years ago. On a different subject, did you hear about the person holding up the Space Center? Yes, a little. And this person has even taken hostages? I guess I better spare her the news about Trucy. Well, after some negotiating, we agreed to do a retrial of the case from 7 years ago. What? You're kidding me! So that means Prosecutor Blackwell might... Yep. I know he's innocent. I just have to prove it. So wait, did you know him back then? Yes. He used to come visit my mom a lot. He studied psychology under her and would sometimes ask her advice on his legal cases. He was very kind and considerate and straight as an arrow. Unlike now, where he's more twisted than a basket of snakes. That's why I took to the witness stand during his trial 7 years ago. No one believed you. Please, you have to listen to me. He didn't kill her. His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her. I was a fool. How could anybody else know what I was talking about? She heard the voice of his heart. You were only 11 then, right? You were very brave just to give testimony. Pearls is right. You did the very best you could at the time. But nothing I said did any good.
I was a shaking and scared little girl, small and ineffectual. Even after I went to live with my relatives in Europe, I stayed closed up in my shell. But you're different now. You're always so bright and cheerful. Thanks. That's because one day I came to realize that I had to fight. I couldn't give up. I exercised hard and I studied hard. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be.
That's why you can throw people like 30 feet now. Why you became a lawyer.
I wanted to save Simon, but I had no idea how. Then I met Mr. Wright, and thanks to him, I realized that if I became a lawyer, I could prove that Simon was innocent. I also realized that psychology could help me do this. I mean, psychology was my mother's specialty. When I studied it, I felt like she was there with me, supporting me. It doesn't seem like Athena knows. That Prosecutor Blackwell is due to be executed tomorrow. Maybe you should spare her that as well. I wanted to prove Simon's innocence personally. I wanted to do it so bad. Even now, I want to fly out of here and go save him. Come to think of it, she said something like that during the Themis Legal Academy trial. She mentioned there was somebody she wanted to save. She must have been talking about Prosecutor Blackwell. I heard some prison guards say that you had an interview with Simon. How was he? What did he say? No, I can't tell her. But how can I lie to Athena? He was doing well. He was happy about the possibility of being proven innocent. What? I wonder if he smiled like he used to, back then. If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence in this trial, I don't think Athena will ever forgive me. I just have to free him. Failure is not an option here. Ah! Oh God, Blackwell, we were feeling emotions. Can you, God? Oh God, why did you kick the door in like that? Yeah, I thought you might be in here. Mr. Lawyer, we're in trouble. How much more trouble can we be in? There's a robot uprising. Simon Blackwell's gonna die tomorrow. Oh, Athena, sorry, I didn't say anything. We are? What is it? I couldn't find a single open courtroom. They're all in session. Oh, no, but this is an emergency. Can't we just put up a cardboard stand or something? Does she really care where it happens? It's very difficult to interrupt a trial once it's underway. Except if you blow it up, apparently. My phone. It's from Trucy. Hello? Trucy, are you alright?
I told you I'd give you 1 hour. I guess it's time to pick one of the hostages.
No, wait! We still have a little more time. Besides, all of the courtrooms are being used right now.
Make all the excuses you want, but you won't get more time. Your daughter is first. The poor thing. She's a little too young to die, don't you think?
No! Don't you dare hurt her! There has to be something I can do. The cruelest injustice is about to befall us. No, this can't be happening. Mystic Maya, help us!
Wait a minute. Maya! I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have been really something, although weird's par for the course with you.
A courtroom blew up. That's it. There is a courtroom we can use after all. Oh my God. Okay, when they, at the beginning of this trial, they showed the actual 3D render of the courtroom, I was like, there's no way they're going to use that just for that aerial shot, right? We have to actually do trial in the exploded courtroom at some point, right? Oh, this is going to be so cool.
Okay, time's up. Too bad. Any last words you'd like to say to her?
Hold it! Aura, please don't add to the crimes you've already committed.
So you know who I am, do you? It wasn't like I was trying to keep it a secret anyway.
We're ready to start the trial. We can hold it in the rooms of courtroom number 4. The one blown up by the bomber. Oh, what a wonderful idea, Mr. Nick. I never would have thought of that. An astonishing trial in an astonishing location. I guess it's only befitting. I'll go get the place ready right away.
I didn't exactly pick the place for its astonishing factor.
How about it? Are you ready to have your brother's innocence proven?
Oh, it does just say Aura now.
My brother? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention? It's not Simon you'll be defending. What? Not Prosecutor Blackwell? I indict Athena Cykes on the charge of murdering her own mother. Well, that should be easier to prove. There's less evidence that she did it.
You'll be defending the little princess there, the one behind the glass. What? See you in that mountain of rubble you've chosen for your courtroom, Mr. Wright.
What is she talking about? Athena? Of course.
Why didn't it ever occur to me before? That's why she hates you?
If Prosecutor Blackwell's innocent, somebody else had to have been the true culprit. Did I kill my own mother? No.
No! Oh my god.
No way. It can't be true. Mr. Nick, what's the matter?
I see 5 black psyche locks. I've seen these kinds of locks before. Dark black locks protecting a secret hidden deep inside a person's heart. And there's no way to remove them. Holy crap, dude. But what if the dark secret isn't that she killed her? What if the dark secret is that she believed it was Blackwell or something like that? Because she saw what the journalist photographed. Which doesn't necessarily mean it was Blackwell. It could have been someone in disguise, right? I mean, apparently if you put on a bird head, you can sound like anyone in this game, so. December 20th, 3:11 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 5. You guys are gonna have the best Christmas after this, I promise.
I did a little research. I looked into these special psyche locks you mentioned, Mr. Nick.
You did? That's great. I really appreciate it.
I read psyche lock protects a secret. Sorry. This has all got me very stressed out, Mr. Nick.
It's okay, Pearls. I understand.
A red psyche lock protects a secret a person is consciously trying to hide. If the person folds under questioning, the lock breaks and the truth comes out.
Yep, that's exactly how I got the truth out of Detective Fulbright and Director Cosmos.
But a black psyche lock protects a secret from the deepest place in a person's heart. A secret that person isn't even consciously aware of.
So, they don't even know it's there.
Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself.
Okay, so all I have to do is break the psyche locks. You just said they couldn't be broken, Phoenix. I can show you it in the history here. There's no way to remove them.
According to my research, a black psyche lock is like a heavy chain wrapped directly around one's heart. If they are ripped off by force, it could cause permanent damage to a person's soul.
In other words, if I'm not careful, I could traumatize Athena for good. Pearls, could you stay by Athena's side? She must be suffering under the weight of such a heavy burden.
Alright. But will you be alright by yourself, Mr. Nick?
I'm up against Edgeworth. I have to be able to give this trial all my focus and strength.
And you can't do that if I'm there. I'll just hold you back.
No, that's not it. I just meant I can relax and concentrate if I knew you were with Athena. You're the only one who can do it, Pearls.
Alright. I'll do it then. Good luck, Mr. Nick.
No, I'm nervous because I really can't mess this up. The stakes are so damn high. Good. Now that my mind is at ease, I'd better get ready. I'll just tidy up the evidence to take out what I don't need. It's time to end this nightmare that started 7 years ago. What have you tidied? I would like to see what you removed. Hang on a tick. We're down to 3 pages again. We removed about 3 pieces of evidence then. No, maybe 4. I'm still not sure exactly what. December 20th, District Court, courtroom number 4. Defense, prosecution, and judge. There are even people in the gallery. Who's the judge? Just judge? The roof has been completely blown off and the walls have collapsed. But today, this ruin is my battleground. Boosh! Oh, it's a normal judge! And there's Klonko on the witness stand. Day 1! Court is now in session. All rise. Court, or some facsimile thereof, is now in session for the trial of Athena Cykes.
Heard that! Not the facsimile, old man! This is...
Oh, well it says aura, but it's got the robot sound, so I assume we would hear it in Klonko's voice.
This is a proper official trial! Take this more seriously, or you'll start hearing the bones of the hostages snap!
Please, try not to upset Miss Blackwell. I'm begging you. Court is now in session for the very serious and very proper trial of Athena Cykes. This is no trial. It's nothing more than a ridiculous farce. Edgeworth, my daughter, please!
What did you say? Edgeworth, did you not hear what I just said to his honor?
However, this ridiculous farce has a very important meaning for our legal system. Recall the case of the UR1 incident, in which a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. That case ushered in the odious, dark age of the law.
I see what you're after. If we can find the real truth behind that case today...
Precisely. The darkness will be dispelled and glory shall be restored to the court system. I should probably just voice it as Aura, shouldn't I? Prosecutor Edgeworth, you sound as if you know something of this truth. I do indeed. A new suspect has emerged in the UR1 case. For 7 years, Simon Blackwell has refused to speak in order to cover for someone else. Right, he has to take the side of, prosecuting Athena here. Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I'm sorry, Wright, but the situation is what it is, and I must do what I must. The prosecution moves to indict Athena Cykes on the count of murder in the first degree. He's doing this for our own good, Athena. I'm sorry. Why are there...
circumstance, I intend to question the defendant with all I have. For that is a part of my creed.
Then you better bring it.
If the two of you are ready.
If you're done being dumbasses together...
Court is now in session for the trial of Athena Cykes.
There's a very formal procession here.
The defense was born ready.
The prosecution is also ready.
You guys are a lot more confident about this than I am. There's immense tension between us. It's like we're picking up right where we left off. He took off his glasses. It's my duty to clear Prosecutor Blackwell of false accusations and end this insanity. But I have no intention of losing Miss Cykes either. She's a very promising young lawyer. I know without a doubt that Athena is innocent. But I don't think Prosecutor Blackwell did it either. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage?
At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy.
The true culprit's a spy. It's going to be hard to convince anyone of that when I barely believe it myself. But I don't have a choice if I want to save Athena and Blackwell and expose the spy. Now then, the Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. The weird thing, though, is because it seems like it wouldn't be Aura, right? Because then why would she... It seems like it wouldn't be Aura because... I mean, maybe she was so distraught by what she'd done that she morphed it into her head to it being someone else, but... Was there someone else earlier in the game that they, like, they let go and they were like, well, we're not sure what's going on with them just yet. And they sort of, like, dismissed it and they're gonna come back for this? I don't know who it would be but Aura. It was Fulbright. I knew I was right about him from the moment I called that he was the killer for the Nine Tails Veil case. No, probably not. Candace Arm, maybe, because we don't really know anything about her, but it's got nothing here. Miles Edgeworth, age 34, the Chief Prosecutor. He's an old friend and a former prosecutor against whom I fought many courtroom battles. Now then, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. No need for the Chief Prosecutor bit, Your Honor. I am here as a simple prosecutor.
Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Although I've been known of late to give an impressive opening statement myself.
In all the trials I have ever seen, only the prosecution gives an opening statement.
Oh, of course, you're right. I was just joking, just having a little fun.
So he wasn't doing them just out of fear. Interesting. Let's start with a brief overview of the UR1 incident. The incident occurred at the Cosmos Space Center 7 years ago, on October 7th. The victim, psychologist Meta Cykes, was killed in the robotics lab on the 4th floor. October 7th, 10-7. Wasn't there something about 7 and 10? Those two numbers came up earlier? I'm not sure what I'm thinking of. It might have nothing to do with this game at all. Not a clue. I think it's completely unrelated to this. The victim, psychologist Meta Cykes, was killed in the robotics lab on the 4th floor. Athena's mother. Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor at the time, was found guilty of the crime. There were two deciding factors that led to his guilty verdict. One, Blackwell was the only person in the corridor to the lab at the time of the murder. Actually, having him as prosecuting to try and save Blackwell is useful because it means he's going to be trying his utmost to save Blackwell. We're trying our utmost to save Athena, so we're both going to be really... We should be like bang, 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 finding all the elements that equip both of them. One, Blackwell was the only person in the corridor to the lab at the time of the murder. And two, this photo, which captured the moment of the crime.
Very incriminating evidence indeed. It would appear that the only conclusion is that Prosecutor Blackwell did indeed... Hold it! Oh, no.
Hold it? Are you kidding me? I'm not accepting any conclusion of the kind. This opening statement is over. Now hurry up and call the witness.
Excuse me, Miss Blackwell, but we must follow proper procedure for these things, you know.
Or perhaps we should heed her wishes, Your Honor. She is the trial's sponsor, after all. Besides, the courtroom is chilly, and sitting for too long can't be good for your back.
Oh, You are very kind to show such concern for the welfare of the elderly.
As skilled as ever at playing the court puppeteer, I see. The prosecution calls its first witness. A witness who decided to bring forth new testimony after 7 long years. New testimony? And just who is this witness anyway? Someone who works there, surely. Starbuck? Or Yuri, maybe. Fulbright. Okie doke. Ha! Bobby Fulbright's the name, and just as we trust! What are you doing here? I'm just here to speak for the hostage taker, Miss Zora Blackwell. She says she's too busy, what with confirming and threatening the hostages and all, confining and threatening the hostages. It doesn't seem to stop her from constantly chiming in through Klonko. I'm nothing more than an observer in this. Do your best. I'm watching you. Believing her brother innocent, Miss Blackwell has been conducting her own investigation. And though her current actions are hardly lawful, I think we can at least hear her theory. I have here Miss Blackwell's notes on the investigation she conducted. And I'll be giving testimony based on these notes. Here I go. Oh, good. Can't wait. Witness testimony, first one of this case. I'm so ready.
Ora Blackwell's theory.
Simon isn't the murderer. Simon isn't the murderer. He was trying to cover for someone. Someone else was at the scene at the time. They say Simon committed the murder. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, why the rolling case? Because he was using it to hide someone inside. That's why. And the only person who was small enough to fit inside that case was Athena Cykes. Didn't Pearl say that we would both fit in it? There's a big one, right? And that's Miss Blackwell's theory. It totally goes in the face of the official ruling, huh? About the case she mentions, there were other rolling cases like that one in the lab, but they're not for traveling. They're apparently for moving parts and equipment. I vaguely remember seeing 3 cases, all different sizes. Pearl seems to suggest that we would both fit in the large one, didn't she? At the last trial, they thought that Prosecutor Blackwell used the case to steal the rock. And they had a perfectly good reason to think that, too. You see, there's a security camera in the corridor that leads to the robotics lab. Right. And that camera captured footage of Blackwell leaving the scene with the case. Which case? What size? Alright, well, granted, that one does look like small enough that only Athena would have fit. I can see why that footage helped to bring his trial to a quick end. It's very convincing, that's for sure. 7-year-old video updated in the court record. Video showing the corridor of the crime scene. Blackwell was the only one to pass through that time. And once again, it's a video of which we only have a still. But I don't think they're going to cheat like in the aquarium case, probably. I think probably that's all the only interesting bit. That case, by the way, was later discovered outside on the Space Center grounds. With dried out leaves on it, perhaps? Speaking of after the incident, where was the defendant Athena Cykes found? She was found on the 5th floor of the Space Center in the Cykes family residence. Prosecutor Blackwell most likely brought her there after the incident. In addition, it's unknown where Miss Cykes was at the estimated time of death. Miss Cykes was too confused by the shock of her mother's death to give proper testimony, and there was no witness or evidence to tell us where she might have been. She did testify. Hello? You're telling me you guys just threw that out? I don't care if it wasn't proper. She testified. So what you're saying is Miss Cykes didn't have an alibi? That is what the evidence is saying, yes. I understand the reasoning behind the theory, but I'm far from convinced. The victim is the accused's mother. Are you actually claiming an 11-year-old girl? Of course, the girl had a very strong motive. Dr. Cykes was a psychologist who wrote many papers about speech and emotions. You're aware of Athena Cykes' special ability, aren't you, Your Honor? Are you referring to that therapy thing? Yes, she's done it quite a few times in court. The ability to read emotions from speech and the subject of her mother's research. Well, as long as it benefits society, I don't see any particular problem in researching it. I don't like where this is heading. Not one bit. Dr. Cykes was so intent on her research, she forced her daughter to undergo experiments. Prosecutor Edgeworth! Are you seriously suggesting? I've done my best to be delicate, but even you can't deny it to be true, Mr. Wright. No longer able to withstand the anguish of the experiments, Miss Cykes felt her only choice was to kill her own mother. Ah! Well, it's at least a strong argument away from Blackwell. I like that about it. Order! Order in the court! What a tragic story. I hardly want to believe it myself, but we must proceed. Mr. Wright, if you could. Detective Fulbright, please refer to the notes. Alright, here we go. Gotta think about this. The thing that sticks out to me the most... Oh, but even then, the case and the footage didn't look especially big enough, but... Pearl pointed out that there was one case big enough for probably more than someone small. Or Blackwell's theory. Simon isn't the murderer, he was trying to cover for someone. Someone else was at the scene at the time. They say Simon committed the murder. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, well then why the rolling case? Where would you have put it? Hold it! This rolling case. I suppose you mean the one that existed in the photo with Prosecutor Blackwell in it. Oh, actually, it's a lot longer than I thought. but was absent when the crime scene photos were taken. Well, it was the largest one, so maybe more than Athena just could have, only could have fit in it. Yes, that's the one. And Miss Blackwell has drawn a conclusion from these 2 photos. She has? And what is that conclusion? You're the one with her notes. Oh, right. Of course. Reading them now. So why the rolling case? This is also a first too. Testimony given from someone else's notes. Because he was using it to hide someone inside, that's why, and the only person small enough to fit inside the case was Athena Cykes. I think we were pretty confident that's untrue, but I don't have evidence exactly to back it, to deny that. Well, I mean, it's in the photo with him here, and it looks, considering that's farther away, and there's a pretty long cases, we don't really get the full breadth of that here. They look pretty big, but I don't think it's enough. That's not really enough to go on just yet. What are we thinking, Phoenix? It's a clever theory, but it doesn't look like they have any solid proof. If I push, maybe I can uncover some flaws in it. Yeah, probably that's right. It's too early to go presenting that photograph, I think. I want to push here. Oh, I missed it, sorry. Hold it! But that's nothing more than conjecture, and it's hardly the only possibility. In that case, what do you think Prosecutor Blackwell had in that case? I think it was the moon rock. Objection! There were 3 cases at the scene, but the Prosecutor Blackwell used the largest one. The moon rock was egg-shaped and only about 8 inches in diameter. 8 inches? That's a little bigger than 8 inches to me. Okay, point taken that you didn't need a very large case for it, but I think that looks a bit more than 8 inches, doesn't it? Was 8 inches something like that? Oh no, maybe that's about right. Anyway, it wouldn't have made any sense to use the largest case there just to move that rock. Objection! Be that as it may, it doesn't prove Miss Cykes was inside. Then let me ask you this. Can you come up with a better theory of what was in the case? That is a good question. Can I? Yeah, about that. No. No, I can't. They put the entire Hope capsule in it. Or Hope probe. No, anyway, well, Mr. Wright, can you? Yikes. Give guys some time to think. Let's see. Should I try to bluff my way through what could have been in that case? No, not yet. Much too early. I guess I better wait and see how it goes. Everyone claims that bluffing is the Phoenix's big thing, but I'm not sure I agree. I think we should just see what we can get out of the rest of this first. Fine, let's just push on everything else then. Simon isn't the murderer, he was trying to cover for someone. Hold it! So Prosecutor Blackwell willingly accepted a death sentence to protect someone else? Yes, that is precisely what Miss Blackwell appears to believe. And that is why I believe as well, what I believe as well. Prosecutor Blackwell is no murderer, Mr. Wright. But Athena Cykes certainly didn't kill anyone either, Mr. Edgeworth. So it appears neither of us can afford to go easy on the other. Fine, I expected no less. Oh, I remember this tense atmosphere. It's so invigorating. I'm only reading notes here, but yeah, I feel extra invigorated too. So let's keep going. Someone else was at the scene at the time, they say it cried. Hold it! Prove it! But that's just speculation. Objection! No, Miss Blackwell has proper grounds for her claims. Objection! Then why didn't you say so in the first place? Objection. You guys are objecting entirely too much. You're the one who screamed "Hold it" and cut me off. Fine, so maybe I jumped the gun a bit by a teeny weeny bit. Now I know what they mean when they say close enough to argue. Moving on. Well, it's not exactly like I didn't interrupt Edgeworth. I interrupted Fulbright. If he was really had to steal that moon rock, then why the rolling case? I think we already pushed on that one. Because he was using it to hide someone inside, that's why. Hold it! And how do you propose to hit a person inside one of those cases? Have you forgotten that we just saw a thing only the other day? Such a thing? At her own daughter's magic show, she fit a grown person into a small box. Oh, yeah! Way to ruin the memory of a good day. Who was Edgeworth at the show? That's so sweet. A magic show? I wish you would have thought to invite me. Actually, I would have liked to go too. My apologies. I'll invite you both next time, I promise. So, wait a minute. What were we talking about again? Prosecutor Blackwell was using the case to hide someone. Right, looks like the only option we got is just to bluff, because I don't have enough to go on here. Do I ever know what else he was doing with that case? Oh, you bet. I bet he put Laura Blackwell in that case. Just knocked her out and threw her in there. That's 100% what happened. I know exactly what Prosecutor Blackwell carried from the scene. I just have to find something else that was missing, right? No sweat. Yeah, but what? Ponko's arm? Actually, that may be less implausible than I just thought, because this is the same card here, right? And Ponko's arm is nowhere to be seen in this photograph. The sword was removed from there, but that's because it's on the ground over here. Ponko's arm, I guess that's something that was missing, but I don't really know why. Ooh, I'd be very interested in hearing your theory, if it's true that is. This is a crime scene photo taken after Prosecutor Blackwell left, correct? All I have to do is compare this with this photo of Prosecutor Blackwell to see what's missing. If he took something with him, then it should be in one of these photos. Lady Luck
Don't fail me now.
All right, then, Mr. Wright, let us hear your theory. What did Prosecutor Blackwell take from the scene of the murder?
That would be this arm over here, Your Honor. Clearly. Take that! Please notice that there is a robot part on top of the cart in this photo. However, in this photo taken after the crime, the robot part is gone. In other words, this part is something that was taken from the scene of the crime.
You do appear to be right. I don't see it in the second picture.
But it's just a piece of junk. How important could it be? It's got blood on it. Is it really just an insignificant robot part? Speaking of which. What are you looking at? I'm gonna start charging for each glance per eyeball. Stingy. What happened to the age of free previews? Your Honor, about this robot part. Doesn't it look like it could be an arm from that robot there? Well, it's red and as the cast, so it's from Blanco, but...
Well, now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it? But the case is still too big to be practical for just the moonrock and a robot arm.
Was it really just the one arm that was in there? Maybe the rest of Blanco. If it wasn't Athena in the case, then maybe... I believe there was another robot at the scene that looks just like this one here. Your Honor, it is the defense's assertion that it was this other robot that was in this case.
What?
I love the little fruit crates they have for the witnesses to stand on.
Objection!
We can't be certain that the part belonged to a robot. Yes, it looks like the arm of one before us, but it could be something else entirely. Besides, it's wrapped entirely in bandaging, making it difficult to verify what it is.
Objection!
I know for a fact that it is a robot arm. I can even tell which robot it belonged to just by looking at it. With this information, we can investigate whether it was there at the time or not.
But, Mr. Wright, I thought you were more of the technologically illiterate type. When did you become such an expert? I feel somewhat abandoned.
Not to worry, Your Honor. I still know next to nothing about machines. But I know that this piece of evidence proved who the robot arm belonged to. It was in this one here, right? Yeah.
Take that!
The robot in this picture is named Ponko. But take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Miss Cykes who bandaged it up like that, like. Sorry, what? Who bandaged it up that like?
She must have thought the machines heal in the same way people do. What an adorable, naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild.
The robot arm at the crime scene had the same bandage ring wrapped around it. In other words, this robot arm could belong to none other than Ponko! Well done, Phoenix. Well done. You're bringing it home, my boy. We haven't messed up too bad in this trial sequence yet, but that unfortunately is all the time we have for now. But we're in the end game now, folks. Who knows how long? I guess if Blackwell's executed tomorrow, the trial may very well continue on to tomorrow, and we'll get him proved innocent just in the nick of time. I mean, it seems like exceptional circumstance. Can we not delay his execution for like a week, just while we have time to search through all this stuff? But oh, what a marvelous case this is turning into so far. I'm loving it, man. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba and all that. I cannot wait to see all the twists and turns this case has for us, because it's clear there's so much weird going on here. I feel like this particular case, once we get in this case especially, I'm excited to if it seems for most of them there have been. I'm excited to see if they'll do that thing where at the end it zooms in and then your character puts all the pieces together and then the big twist is revealed. I think this will be the most satisfying one of the game. If we get one of those, and we have to. So that's all for now, but the next video going on the channel is gonna be a bonus video for Chill or Be Chilled. Yes, indeed, our main 7 videos were done, but someone else came in last minute and just had to have some fun. Said it wouldn't be Chill or Be Chilled without me. I mean, he didn't say that because he doesn't really speak, he just kind of goes... Well, that's the next video going up on the channel, and next time here, how many episodes before the end? This trial is gonna be dense. I can just feel it. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! Where is your friend, my friend? Not me, the other friend. Oh God! Well, this'll be fine. Just close your eyes. I don't think we need to attach any fans to this. It's probably perfect and fine as it is. It will be kind of hard to get onto otherwise, though. I'll just have to catch up to it. Oh, I got hit by it. That's probably not